Right now, I do believe what we're witnessing with a lot of this chaos that Trump is causing is when these different cities, the representatives of these states and these cities, when they refuse to obey the beast, when they refuse to obey Donald Trump, this is when he ramps up the chaos. Now, we see here in Florida where they have ICE here now. Now, I believe once they bow down to Donald Trump and do everything that he says, everything that he tells them, then I believe that you'll see less chaos. Now, they still gonna be putting black and brown people in those detention camps, or any white folk that disobey, meaning protest or try to, stand up for those who are being mistreated. People are still going to be put in those detainment camps because we're coming close to the 7-year tribulation period, Jacob's trouble. But I believe you're going to see less chaos when these leaders begin to bow down to Trump. We already see DeSantis here in Florida. He's a true Trumper. And Donna Deegan, the mayor of Florida, the woman that she put in place, this Hispanic woman, she hired her. What this Hispanic woman did is she made a video basically telling the Hispanic people to just comply. She let them know that ICE was showing up very heavy here in Florida, and she was telling them to comply. Now, what Donna Deegan did is she suspended this woman. See, I told people Donna Deegan, she seemed like she was a pretty cool person and she was whatever. But whenever they give you these positions, they give you these positions for you to obey. So she was suspended and a lot of people wanted her fired. So we don't know what's going to happen. But when we see all of the representatives, most of them, when they begin to obey the beast, you'll see less of the presence. You'll see less chaos. Again, even though they still are going to be putting people in those camps because we know the tribulation period is coming. Now, anytime these doctors or these scientists or these professors, whenever they told the truth about those vaccines, they were silenced. And right now, what they need everybody to do, everybody needs to agree that they're going to have all of their citizens, they're going to promote these new rounds of vaccines very heavy. They're going to promote them very heavy. And anybody that is resistant, any of these representatives that resist, then you're going to see the violence hyped up in their states or in their cities. It's all about these vaccines. And I want y'all to listen to what this gentleman said, Professor Francis Boyle, what he said. Soon after he said this, he was murdered.
Where these messenger RNA Frankenshots come from, DARPA awards Moderna Therapeutics a grant for up to $25 million to develop messenger RNA therapeutics. So notice DARPA is the Pentagon. Let me repeat that. DARPA is the Pentagon. The Pentagon bought, paid for, envisioned these mRNA Frankenshots. And I should also point out, Fort Detrick was involved in the development of COVID-19, the offensive biological warfare weapon at the University of North Carolina, BSL-3. So the Pentagon is both sides of the argument here. They're developing the weapon and the alleged vaccines. Where these messenger RNA Frankenshots come from, DARPA awards Moderna Therapeutics a grant for up to $25 million to develop messenger RNA therapeutics. So notice DARPA is the Pentagon. Let me repeat that. DARPA is the Pentagon. The Pentagon bought, paid for, envisioned these mRNA Frankenshots. And I should also point out, Fort Detrick was involved in the development of COVID-19, the offensive biological warfare weapon at the University of North Carolina, BSL-3.
Okay, that. His name again was Professor Francis Boyle. Francis, Francis, last name Boyle, Boyle. If you desire to do some research, go and look up any of these, again, these doctors, professors, or scientists, anybody that was blowing the whistle on what they were using these vaccines for. Most of them, they were silenced, they lost their practices, or they were murdered. And right now, it is all about them getting these new vaccines. They're not investing this much money into these vaccines for nothing. They're gonna become mandatory everywhere. And one of the first places they're going to be mandatory is in these churches, because they're saying the black and brown people are less likely to receive these vaccines. But who do black and brown people love to listen to? Pastor them. So just like they did in 2019, all you got to do is go to YouTube and put in the search bar churches that promoted the vaccine, and you're going to see churches all over the place that promoted that vaccine, that opened their doors, their auditoriums, or whatever you call where they have worship. They open up those places and they got those people to receive those vaccines. So right now, it is all about these vaccines, because again, Trump is the father of the vaccines. And during the tribulation period, this is how they're going to mark you, via those vaccines. So right now, again, ICE is here in Florida. ICE is here in Florida. So I don't think we're going to witness here in Florida, not right now, not until the tribulation period anyway. We're not going to witness what we're seeing in Minnesota, because we can see right now the mayor, Donna Deegan, how she fired that lady simply because she was telling Hispanics to comply, with ICE. She told them that there was a heavy presence of ICE, and she told them to comply, and she got suspended for doing that. That lets you know right there that she's on board. We already know that DeSantis is on board. So pretty soon, Florida will be promoting vaccines very heavily, starting in these churches and in these workplaces. They're already on board. Now, in Minnesota, this is why Trump is going after them the way he's going after them. And again, it is all about these vaccines. It is all about these vaccines. Y'all better wake up. It's all about these vaccines. Now, I believe this was in April 2025. Now, the person that wrote this article, they called people conspiracy theorists who speak against this stuff. So keep that in mind, that this was the type person that wrote this article. He says, Minnesota Republicans introduced vaccine criminalization bill drafted by Florida hypnotists. And that's a lie. Okay, it says a group of 8 Republicans in the Minnesota House have introduced legislation HF 3219 that would designate certain vaccines and medical treatments as weapons of mass destruction and making possessing or administering them a crime punishable by up to 20 years in prison. The legislation specifically targets messenger RNA, mRNA treatments, which include several COVID-19 vaccines. Those vaccines, this is him talking now. He's with the system. He's talking about those vaccines have saved millions of lives. That is a lie. They've killed millions of people. And he says, and are considered one of the most important medical and public health achievements of the 21st century so far. Whatever. See, he's a good reporter. Trump wouldn't say anything about him. He wouldn't call him piggy. Okay, the bill's language appears to have been drafted by Joseph Sansone, a Florida hypnotist and conspiracy theorist who believes that mRNA treatments are nanoparticle injections, and they are. That ain't no conspiracy theorist. That is true. He said the amount of biological and technological weapons of mass destruction. He said that amount to biological and technological weapons of mass destruction. Sansone has falsely claimed, so he says, that more Americans have died from mRNA injections than in World Wars I and World Wars II and the Vietnam War combined. And I totally agree. And I want to say this, as far as World War III, I believe it started in 2019 when they planned COVID. World War III is a war against the people. This is what I believe it is. These governments warring with the people. They got it again before the 2030. Part of their agenda is to get the population down to 500 million. So it's the war against the people. I believe that's when World War III started in 2019 when they did that pandemic. It says, and said he has stood alongside an army of the dead to file unsuccessful legal complaints against vaccines in Florida. The bill has no chance of passing given the narrow margins in the House and Senate, as well as the DFL's control of the governorship, but its support among multiple Republican representatives, including several members of GOP House leadership, give a sense of how the party would govern if it controlled the state legislature. The Minnesota Republicans sponsoring the bill include Shane McKeelan, Clear Lake, Krista Knudsen, Lake Shore, Assistant GOP floor leader Walter Hudson, Albertville, Jeff Dosif, Silver Township, Tom Murphy, Underwood, Pam Altendorf, Red Wing. I believe this is the areas that they govern over. Keith Allen, Kenyon, and Deputy Speaker pro tempore Isaac Schultz Emerald. Several have also sponsored a marginally less extreme bill that would make administering mRNA vaccines a misdemeanor subject to a $500 penalty. The reformer requested comment from several of the bill sponsors, but none responded. In addition to vaccines for infectious diseases, mRNA technology holds tremendous promise for treating cancer and other ailments. Thousands of cancer patients are currently participating in trials. Minnesota Mayo Clinic has been at the forefront. All of these are lies. The language in the bill further bans nanotechnology or nanoparticles that alter genes and create biosynthetic cell replication, which could impact other cutting-edge medical technologies like CRISPR. It also bans any human gene therapy product for any infectious disease indication. That's a good thing. You need to ban it. Wow. The bill compels state and local authorities to use all lawful means necessary to enforce its provisions and would subject authorities to prosecution under existing weapons of mass destruction statutes if they refuse to investigate alleged violations of the law. Now, these people are going against Trump. Again, Trump is the father of the vaccines. So when you come for his children, the vaccines, he's going to come for you. And you see what they're doing in Minnesota right now. Trump sent out a Truth Social post saying in Minnesota, the troublemakers, the agitators, and the insurrectionists are, in many cases, highly paid professionals. Now, keep in mind, everything that comes out of his mouth pretty much is a lie. The governor and mayor don't know what to do. They have totally lost control and are currently being rendered useless. If and when I am forced to act, it will be solved quickly and effectively. Now, what he wants to do is bring in that Insurrection Act. Anytime somebody disobeys him, and see, right now, they need everybody to be on board with these vaccines. Anybody that bucks the system, they're going to be met with heavy resistance. I mean, not resistance. They're going to be met with heavy force for disobeying the beast, Donald Trump. Now, he says, do the people in Minnesota really want to live in a community in which there are thousands of already convicted murderers, drug dealers, addicts, rapists, violent, released, and escaped prisoners? See, that's all of that is foolishness to make these ignorant people who follow him think that what he's doing is to get rid of the evil people. No, what he's doing is he's punishing these representatives who are going against him. And how does he punish them? Is they go against the people. You notice during all of these wars, it's the people who suffer. It's the people who are murdered and their houses are bombed and all of that. This is how they go after these representatives. This is how they go after the leaders. They bomb the people. It's the people who suffer. Violent release and escape prisoners, dangerous people from foreign mental institutions. This man is the father of lies. Satan in the flesh. Insane asylums and other deadly criminals too dangerous to even mention. All the patriots of ICE want to do is remove them from your neighborhood. He is a deceiver. And see, what happens is these white folk who have fallen under the strong delusion, they are believing the lies that he tells. We're trying to keep y'all safe, white folk. So we got to get these criminals out. So they believe everything this man says. But what it is anybody who refuses to obey him or bucks his authority. And right now, you got these Minnesota lawmakers who have filed this bill to call the COVID vaccine shots a bioweapon. He says all the patriots of ICE want to do is to remove them from your neighborhood and send them back to prisons and mental institutions from where they came. Most in foreign countries who illegally entered the U.S. through Sleepy Joe Biden's horrible open border policy. You can tell he's foolish because every time he sits up in the meetings, he's asleep. He throws out stuff that, tickles the ears of his followers. They like to hear that. Yeah, Sleepy Joe. Yeah, Sleepy Joe. They listen to that foolishness. This is how he captivates people with the words that he says. And if you look at him, all he does is falls asleep. Open border policy. Every place we go, crime comes down. In Chicago, despite a weak and incompetent governor and mayor fighting us all the way, a big improvement was made. Thousands of criminals were removed. Minnesota Democrats love the unrest and anarchists and professional agitators are causing because it gets the spotlight off of the $19 billion that was stolen by really bad and deranged people. Fear not, great people of Minnesota. The day of reckoning and retribution is coming. The only reason why he's doing that again is because these people are refusing to obey him. Anybody that goes against him, and right now, these vaccines, they are front and center. He stood up there and said he invested over $500 billion in vaccines. And people, when they invest, they are expecting a return. And the return that they're expecting is that every citizen of the world will be vaccinated. And those of you who refuse, very soon, you're going to lose everything. And this is why I tell you all that if you refuse these things, you're going to become homeless. I've been warning y'all, your job is going to be gone. Anybody who refuses to receive this poison, the mark, you're going to lose everything. The word of God says you cannot buy, sell, or do anything. You cannot function in society unless you receive it. And again, the thing that they're going to do, because the black and brown people are less likely to receive these vaccines, they're going to go real heavy in these churches. And it will be mandatory. In order for these churches to keep their doors open, everybody must be vaccinated. Watch how these churches begin to talk about vaccines. Just watch. See, right now, this is how people are going to be marked. You don't have very many people saying this. God will expose the plans of these evildoers. He will reveal it to his faithful servants. And I am a faithful servant of God. And whatever he reveals to me, I'm trying to cry loud and spare not, and to warn you all. But for the majority, for the most part, you all are not listening. But what you won't be able to say is that you didn't know. If you ignore these videos, that's just like, being warned. Ignoring the videos basically means you didn't want the warning. So you were warned when you ignored, you unfollowed, or you did whatever you did to keep from listening to these videos. God is going to remind you of what you did in order not to hear the truth. He's going to remind you. Now, this was a Colorado newspaper article in February the 2nd, 1909 in New York. W.B. Clark, a well-known physician, insists that vaccination is the cause of cancer. And I believe that. Y'all can say whatever you want. Cancer is not a normal thing. And I believe it's all of the vaccines, whether it be flu, whatever type vaccine you take, all of them. It is to destroy you, get you sickly so that you can go to the pharmaceutical companies in order to be healed. And you own all these different types of medications. It's those vaccines. But y'all don't want to hear it though. He insists that vaccination is the cause of cancer. He says a cancer was practically unknown until cowpox vaccination began to be introduced. Cancer, I believe, is a disease of cell life, a disturbance of its equilibrium manifested by the rapid growth of cells and the consequent building up of a tumor. I have had to do with at least 200 cases of cancer, and here declare that I never saw a case of cancer in an unvaccinated person. Oh, y'all ain't got to believe it. Y'all ain't got to believe it. Just keep going to them and doing what they're telling you. Just keep doing it. Keep listening. Keep listening. Keep sending your children. Just keep doing it. Dr. Boyd Haley, toxicologist, retired professor of chemistry, University of Kentucky, says a single vaccine given to a 6-pound newborn is the equivalent of giving a 180-pound adult 30 vaccines on the same day. They tell you to trust the science, right? I trust the science of those who have been silenced. I trust the science of those who have lost their practices or who have been murdered. That's the science I trust. Trauma-based mind control. If a population is bombarded with nonstop fear, most become completely brainwashed to implanted narratives. After this stage is completed, subjects are no longer capable of critical thinking. And that's exactly why y'all ran and got them vaccines. They put fear in your heart. They kept talking about the cases are going up, the beds are filling up, the emergency rooms are crowded, and people are on ventilators, and they just filled y'all with fear. They bombarded you with fear. That was the brainwashing. Again, he says, if a population is bombarded with nonstop fear, most become completely brainwashed to implanted narratives. Then once they get you just bombarded with fear, then they can give you the narrative that they want. Oh, it's safe and effective. People who have gotten these vaccines, they haven't died. They haven't gotten COVID again. They lied to you. And again, I will always remind you that in 2020, I was warning people not to take it. And what y'all did, called me crazy, a conspiracy theorist, my brother called me, all of these things. And look at you now. Oh, yes, I'm going to throw it up in your face because you didn't listen. And if you don't listen now, and you begin to take what they're gonna run the same game on you. They're gonna run the same game on you, especially when they're already doing it right now with this new flu strain or whatever. They're telling people to run and get your vaccines. I did a video where I showed you all where CVS was constantly sending me these texts talking about this, the flu is getting so bad, you need to come and get your vaccines. They doing the same game plan, and y'all gonna fall for it again. They implant these narratives in your mind. After this stage is complete, subjects are no longer capable of critical thinking. They got you stupid. You can't even think for yourselves because they filled you with fear, and then they have put the narratives that they want you to have in your mind. Safe and effective. It's the people who are not getting the vaccines who are killing people. That's what my brother told me. He said, you're the one who are causing people to die. And I will always believe that it was because of those vaccines why my brother's dead. I don't care who disagrees with that. I don't care who disagrees with that. Now, they're going to run the same play. They're going to run the same play. Just like in sports, they tend to do a different play. They don't, to my knowledge, they don't just keep running the same play because eventually the opponent gonna see that they run the same play. But what these people are doing, they running the same play. They gave out donuts, free donuts for everyone who volunteers to be a science experiment. Just inject yourself with a mystery liquid made by corporations with a long history of false claims and billion-dollar fines. And what y'all do? Lined up. Oh, what's the donut place? Krispy Kremes, baby. Krispy Kremes was handing out boxes of donuts, baby. Just show your little vaccination card and baby, you can come and get them. They was even giving out beer, and they was just giving out all kinds of stuff. Just like the gentleman in that video said, he knew when they began to incentivize these vaccines that he knew it was something to it. If you're going to give me something to get this, it's something to it. Run from the word free. Nothing is free. Nothing is free. If it's free, it's a reason for it being free because they're trying to trap you. And right now, again, mark my words, pretty soon, these churches you're going to be hearing, especially when these cases begin to go up more, cases of flu or whatever these bioweapons, that they're releasing through the people who, have the technology on the inside of their bodies. Once the stuff goes higher and higher, the cases go higher and higher, watch the churches. Because again, it's the black and brown people who are less likely, they're hesitant to get these vaccines. But see, the white folks, because they trust their own. See, this is how Satan has got them. They trust their own. So they're much more easier to be deceived because they trust each other so much. I think about that case where the young girl was in Walmart with her mother. Forget the young baby's name. And this older gentleman walked up to the mother and told her, this right here in Jacksonville, Florida, walked up to her and told her, said, you mind if I take the baby to McDonald's and get her something to eat? She let her baby go with this gentleman. And they found that baby dead behind a church right over here on Broward Road, not even a mile away from my house. They found that baby dead. Now, had that would have been a black older gentleman that walked up to her and said, let me take your baby to over here to McDonald's to get something to eat, I guarantee you she wouldn't have let that baby go. See, they trust each other. See, this is why is go look it up if you like, that the white community, they have received more vaccines than the black and brown people. It's because they trust one another. They trust the science. See, they know they already gonna get them for the most part. Now, you do have a lot of them who are anti-vaxxers, as you call them. A lot of them, these truthers who are trying to blow the horn and sound the alert that they're killing people with these vaccines. But for the most part, if you look it up, whites are more likely to receive the vaccines than the black and brown people. And then you have these pastors who are saying that it's okay to take the vaccines. But see, in these black and brown churches, they going hard. I mean, they got their whole auditoriums. They got everything. And the black people just lining up. They tell them to come in because very soon, if you don't have your vaccines, you're not going to be allowed to go in the church. And right now, because y'all think that those churches, those buildings are the church, y'all want to go. Because see, you don't want to be disobeying God. So in order for me to go and serve my God and pay my tithes, I got to get the vaccine. So I got to go. And that's how they going to get you. That's how they're going to get you. But again, this whole thing, everything that we're seeing right now, all the chaos that we're seeing right now, is Trump is testing the water. He's looking at their policies. And if these different states are not, lined up with what he's telling them to do, then he's bringing in the reinforcement. And he's going to cause heavy chaos until they bow down to the beast. So again, right now, Minnesota, because they have, I think it's 8, a group of 8 Republicans in Minnesota House have introduced legislation HF 3219 that would designate certain vaccines, medical treatments as weapons of mass destruction. And it's the mRNA vaccines that they are calling them weapons of mass destruction. And right now, if you do that, you are going against Trump's children. He said he is the father of the vaccines. He's not going to let you speak about his children bad. So he's got to get his people to receive his name. He's going to impregnate you, if you will, with that mark. And with the vaccine. Once you get the vaccines, then you will be marked with his name. The word of God says the name of the beast or the number of his name. Go and look up the patent number for the vaccines, for the mRNA. Go look at the patent number. I've already did a video on that. It's 0666. It's going to be his name or his number. And this is how they're going to mark you. So you watch how this stuff goes in Florida. Watch how it goes in Florida. If it's like, resistance, then it's going to ramp up. But if they bow into the beast, and we're already seeing that they bow into the beast, again, the mayor of Jacksonville, Florida, suspended this Hispanic woman, because she did a social media video basically telling the Hispanic community, to letting them know that ICE was in the area, and told them to comply. And she got suspended. So we see that right now, the mayor of Jacksonville, she's already on board. So you may see, a little less violence here in Jacksonville, because we already see the mayor is on board. No, Trump, we don't want no trouble, Trump. But again, during the tribulation period, it's going to be heavy. That's just right now, because the restrainer hasn't been removed. The restrainer is the Holy Spirit that resides on the inside of the saved folk, the true saints of God. Because I'm still here. This is why the violence hadn't gone crazy. But wait until I'm gone. Wait until I'm gone. And again, the only reason I say me is because I'm the only person that I know of that's saved. God says it's a few of us. But I can speak for myself. So this is the reason why you're seeing the chaos in Minnesota. Why it's so heavy. Because of what these 8 Republicans dared to do. They dared to stand up to the beast. And it's costing the people. Right now they're going door to door, kicking in doors. And until they bow down to the beast and say, okay, Trump, okay, Antichrist, we'll do whatever you say, then he's going to pull back a little bit. But don't forget, they still going to go after the black and brown people. It's still going to ramp up during the tribulation period, because the 7-year tribulation period is called Jacob's trouble. Y'all take care.